how's it going, everybody? My name is Brad, and we are checking out Miscreated once again. I got a lot of great support on the last video, so thank you guys so much for that. I really appreciate all that support lately. It really helps. And yeah, we're checking out the map today. So this game, being on CryEngine, doesn't have the largest map in the world, but you know, it's pretty explorable. I found a lot of stuff that was pretty interesting for the most part. So I just want to go over like the main spots. So basically, this map is called it's called Islands on the server like list at least. So I don't think it has an official name. We're just gonna go by Islands, which makes sense because you know, there's an ocean on the south side. Then you have rivers that kind of run in between to cut everything up. And there's this one river that cuts down the center, which basically separates the west and the east side. So the west, I think it's mostly like mountainous. There's a lot of forest. There's pretty much forest everywhere in this game, but definitely a lot of mountains on the left side. And then on the east side, a little bit more open, and then there's a beach, like I said, and stuff like that. So we're actually going to start on the west side at a place called the Shire, which is a very interesting spot because it's like pretty much a big house that's on its own. It's in a valley, so probably not the best spot to build a base, but you know, the house is pretty nice. It has, I think, one of the biggest interiors in the game, so if you do set up a base, I guess it's not that bad of an option. And I'm not sure about you guys, but this is definitely a populated area whenever I go in it. I was walking in here earlier, and I walked inside the house, walked upstairs, looked in the room, and I saw a person, stared at him awkwardly for like a good 4 or 5 seconds, then turned around, ran out as he chased me because he had a gun, and I hid behind a wall, and he didn't see me. Then he just like went around crazy trying to find me, and he might have been high, but he eventually left, so I was happy. So I left that place, headed northeast-ish a little bit. I didn't want to take the road because roads are overrated. And I walked to Woodhaven, which is the largest city in the game. It kind of sits on like an open plain, and if you play 7 Days to Die, it reminds me of that town called Dyersville. It's just like a nice place to start out, you know, if you can find food easily, water, beverages, stuff like that. And the water does run down fairly quickly in this game, but there's definitely no shortages of like places to loot. And the town is both residential and commercial. There were some abandoned businesses when you enter the town from the, what is it, east side. And then there's factories, libraries, and the libraries are pretty cool actually because there's books lying everywhere. It just looks really realistic, I think. And then there's also mutants everywhere, so, and the melee weapons don't really do that great of a job of killing them, so you have to watch out for them. And that's basically just the 2 hotspots on the west side, which are, you know, there's not that much there, but it's good for setting up camps if they ever add that feature. And there's, you know, it's away from the public area, so you could set up some good bases. And then we'll head to the east side. So to do that, we're gonna actually walk across one of the biggest bridges in the game. It kind of reminds me of like an Alan Wake style, if you guys ever played that game. It's just, I don't know, it's spooky at night. I don't know, I don't like it. But gives you a nice view of the scenery if you're walking across it at daytime. So you can walk across that. That'll lead you to the right side of the map, and if you head north just a little bit, you'll come to a town called Sultan, which I actually really like this town for some reason. It's a bit smaller, it's mostly residential, and it just feels safer for the most part because it's not that open and it's more overgrown. I feel like you could just get materials a lot easier and not have to worry about zombies and people. But that's just me. So this goes for like, you know, 3-4 blocks. It does have a church, and I feel like every zombie game these days tries to have like its own church, but this one does a really good job, and I like this church just because, I don't know, it's overgrown, good textures, it's CryEngine, can't complain, stuff like that. And I actually ran into some players while I was here. They weren't too interested in saying hi to me. I wanted to get some screenshots, but you know, they thought I just wanted to hit them. But if you guys ever like watch my videos, I tend not to hit people in these games unless it's unturned because you can't trust anybody in that game. But yeah, so we got out of this town, left these players, and I headed more west, and we hit a trailer park, which is exactly what it sounds like. There's a ton of trailers just lined up, one after the other. You could loot a bunch of stuff. There's probably not going to be like military grade loot here, but you know, it's once again good for starting out and just good for collecting the necessities. But it has a really good feel to it, in my opinion. The developer did a really good job with this one. You have the worn paint that's on the buildings, there's trash lying everywhere as usual, and then some grass growing pretty much everywhere. That's a constant theme throughout the map. And then once you go inside these trailers, obviously everything has gone to shit. You got the broken drawers, TV, bad wallpaper, stuff like that. And that's really all it is for the trailer park. So we're almost all the way across the map. Lastly, there's a spot on the map called Staircase Thing, which obviously we had to go check out. So I walked by a bunch of farms to get there, and this is where you start to see the biomes change a little bit. It goes from like a dense forest to open land, and then you can see the staircase thing in the distance, which obviously had a well-deserved name. So we finally got up to it, and of course we climbed it because it has the word staircase in it, and you had a beautiful view of the, you know, west side of the map. So, you know, that's really all I have for you guys. Actually, wait, one more thing. I was looking on the staircase thing, and if you look on the map, it says there's an airfield. So I'm like, why would there be an airfield? But surely enough, I looked in the distance, I saw these two large buildings. I ended up walking over there, and it was blocked off, but I think that's why it says hype. So there's a potential for being an airfield up in that north area, so I guess we'll see. But yeah, I guess I'll end it here. That's really all there is to the map. I didn't want to go over everything. There's a lot of houses that are just kind of spread around, which you can explore for yourself, but those are just like the main parts, main attractions I wanted to go over. And yeah, so thanks again guys for watching this video and all the videos lately. I really appreciate the support. You can hit the like button if you want, it helps it out, or gently press it, as some of you like to do. And you can subscribe, because that button's always there, so it's up to you. That's it, and have a fantastic day.